You're welcome back. Now, this Friday, Cork will host its first ever luncheon in aid of mustard seed communities, an amazing charity dedicated to caring for the most vulnerable members of society in places like Jamaica, the Dominican Republic and Zimbabwe.
Mustard Seed's aim is to make a difference to the lives of children who have been abandoned and children with disabilities. Joining us now to tell us more about it is the founder, Monsignor Gregory Ramkissoon, and former Irish international footballer Kevin Kilbane, who's also a big supporter of the cause. You're both very welcome. Good morning.
Thank you.
Monsignor, Father Gregory, what do I call you?
Anything.
Anything. Greg.
That's good. That's better, yes.
As a man who went to school in Cork, I feel we have a
there we go.
natural bond. This was your idea. It's not particularly well known over here, but obviously very well known in the Caribbean, which is where you're operating. Right, why did you decide, or what was the need that you sought to fulfill?
Well, in 1978, 40 years ago, I was tutoring at the university. I wasn't a priest then. And next to the university, as in many third world countries, there was a huge squatting community, very poor and so on. And I used to take my students across there to teach them how not to plant.
Is this in the university in Kingston?
Yes, okay. Of the West Indies in Kingston. And the people kept saying, you bring students here and that's it. In a way, they're like guinea pigs, you know, to study how not to plant. And then we started a little school, basic school. The kids had no school or anything. We started with the students, and they had blocks as seats and blocks, cement blocks as desks. So we said, no, we must do something. And I said to myself and to the others, look, if we start very small, like a mustard seed, and we allow it to grow, it will grow. And this is how we started, with a basic school for the children. And then next door, a Jewish professor then, he said, look, we have a lot of kids with disabilities. They're hanging around, they're on the streets. Could I use your schoolhouse to put in a few of them? And I will come and I'll help with the operation. He's an orthopedic surgeon. And I said, sure. And then one died there. And they had nowhere to go after the operation. And that's how we started having kids with disabilities who were abandoned.
And often these children would have been abandoned in places like dumps.
Oh, yes,
piles of rubbish.
Well, in Nicaragua and Dominican Republic, where we are also, we have a program called Christ in the Garbage Ministries. Hundreds of kids are living daily on the dump.
I filmed in Managua, Gregory.
Oh, there we go.
On the dump. There's 3,000 residents on the dump.
Absolutely, yes.
There's 3,000 people living there. There's cattle. And there is birds.
Absolutely.
And the birds fly away in the evening, the cattle are taken off, and the people are left.
That's correct. That's correct.
So about 25 years ago, Irish people started to get involved in the charity.
Yes.
And the money raised built Sophie's Place.
Yes.
Which is now falling down.
That's
which is why you're back again here.
That's right.
What is Sophie's Place?
Well, Sophie's Place is a place that, for the same kids, but multiply disabled, you know, really disabled children. And we put about 22 or 23 of them, we put them there so that they could be close to the hospital at the university, you know, in case of something. And the Irish people here about 25 years ago helped me buy that property and helped me build it. But it was built out of wood. Now the termites, you know, in a hot country, termites, the thing is coming down. But we need to fix that for the children. We want to put in blocks so we won't have termites in 25 years' time, so that the children will be safe, especially during hurricanes. That's why I want some help for that.
Kevin, I'm not at all surprised that you're involved in something like this, because you've famously run for Down syndrome, and you're a good guy, and
Hardly.
Well, no, but you are. But why did this one particularly catch your fancy?
Well, largely, as Monsignor spoke about there, certainly when it's dealing with kids with special needs, it was certainly something that appealed to me. You know Catherine Tina as well as I do, and when she asks you to jump, you ask how high. That was a thing that happened with me. But once I got speaking to Catherine, she showed me a lovely picture of a young girl with Down syndrome called Gracie, and it kind of changed everything really. And she just asked me to get involved. She asked me to help out along the way, and that was pretty much it. So still very much the early days for me, but certainly with my links with Down syndrome, that certainly was the most appealing factor for me. Yes.
Now you're doing something this Friday in Cork, in Washington. It's sold out, by the way. But so what's it going to be?
Well, it's again, she's roped me into this as well. No, but it's down in Cork. It's a lunch, obviously for the Mustard Seed House, fundraiser for it. I'll be actually being I'll be actually acting as a chef this week. So I'll be with Tomas O'Leary, ex-Irish rugby player, and Damien Callahan. So we'll be acting as chefs. We'll be trying our best in the kitchen anyway. And Barry Murphy will be actually hosting it from
After match.
So
Alan Quinlan as well.
Yes, that's it. Yes, so we'll be down there in Cork this weekend just to try to raise funds. Really,
now,
so.
OK, a lot of people around the rest of the country, this part of the country, will be saying, well, why can't we do something like that? There is an event taking place in October, which they will be able to participate in.
Yes.
Gregory, one of the most important things, like, you need the money, and obviously that goes without saying, right? But you also need people to go and volunteer.
Yes, absolutely, because, you know, young children, kids around 15, 16, adults, a lot of work has to be done. If I don't get the volunteers, I have to pay people to do the work. And we don't want to abandon these children twice, to bring them in a place, you just warehouse them or, you know, put them. We want a place to be clean, nice, tidy, like any other kid wants. And that's where the children or the adults, when they come to help me, they save me a lot of money and a lot of physical time, because we don't have all those things to do like in a country like Ireland. The government doesn't really help us except about 20% of our budget. In some countries, no percent at all. So that is why we want people. And the other thing we want people to, these kids, they're going nowhere. The people who visit them are their friends for life. This is the only chance they will have. Think of the AIDS children. There's a big taboo in Jamaica with AIDS. Sometimes we have to put the shades on the buses so that the people don't, you know, they're AIDS children. When we started, we had to do that. So that's why we need people around.
I know a group of Irish children went out in October, TY students, and you're looking for more Irish students to go out again this year.
Yes, we're trying to encourage more because, you know, with our children, let's say with HIV, AIDS, or teen pregnant girls, they relate to their age group. They could get, and when Irish kids come out and they can relate with them, these children see they're really not abandoned socially, that there are other people who think about them and come and befriend them, hug them, play soccer with them. That's the kind of thing we want.
It is remarkable. See, I think a lot of people view the Caribbean as being this great big huge resort. People go there and it's lovely beaches and palm trees and life is great and all the rest of it. They forget that places like Honduras and the Dominican Republic have... Absolutely. I think, does the Honduras have the highest death rate in the world at one stage?
One of the highest death rates, yes.
Kingston, one of the most violent cities in the world.
Yeah. It's very rough.
So the postcard image of the area and the reality is completely different.
Yeah, there are two countries in each country. You know what I mean? The nice visitor type, but there's the shadow section, and that is where we put our activities.
And Kevin, why did you get involved in this particular charity? You've close links to Down syndrome, you were saying earlier.
Yes, yeah. Well, again, I mean, once you hear of children with special needs being abandoned on the streets, as you talked about before, just in rubbish tips, and it was something that certainly was very much in my mindset. You think of course, my daughter Elsie has Down syndrome, but we're in a privileged position where she'd never experienced a lifestyle or extreme poverty like that. So that was something that was certainly in my mindset. Yes.
So you'll be down in Cork tomorrow.
I'll be in Cork
in
tomorrow.
Rachel Allen's on Washington Street.
Yes, yeah.
There'll be lots of selfies taken, I suspect.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know about how much food will be eaten.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm cooking, I can guarantee there won't be much being eaten, I tell you, yeah.
Well, listen, thank you both very much indeed. We hope this helps, and when the event comes back up in October again, maybe we'll talk to you again at this stage.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck tomorrow with the cooking.
Thank you, yes.
Thank you very much.
It's lovely to meet you, Monsignor Gregory, even though he went to Pres in Cork, as opposed to Christians.
Get over it. Get over it.
No, never, never. And he knows what I mean.
Exactly.
Right, now still to come this morning, the Minister for Housing, Planning and Local Government, Owen Murphy, will be joining us after the break.